like, you shouldn't really die to a Shaker and a Bristleback. So a lot of our concerns for their draft might not even come into light if he completely obliterates the lane, gets top net worth, super early, like, Radiance items, etc., and then off we go. So, yeah, we will we'll have to see, but of course, a little bit of all chats happening here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this reference to a pub game, something like that, pause one off feed. I'm not sure. Either way.
Also, just to continue the Battle Cup narrative that I had with Januel earlier with Boom, Cuckoo actually was going to play Battle Cup with me. He was in the party and then he left because he wanted to have dinner.
Man, you're gay.
But he did join the party. He was ready to play and was like, you know what? I just can't do it this week. And he said he'd play next week.
Okay.
The issue is, if they're still in the tournament, that's it. So he needs to lose the group stage so that he can hold to his promise.
They lose so that they can play Battle Cup with you. Sounds good.
He promised me, Nomad. He said, I promise I'll play next week. So that means he already...
He's a man of his word. Either way, they found the ward. They know where this ward is in the middle lane, at least. So AVULUS will be able to de-ward that as this fight starts. But WS grabs a bounty rune from them, being very cheeky on the Doom. And that is going to secure Flipster Talon the 3 bounty runes to start off this game. But Fly gets the D-ward, so who's the real winner?
Let's go with Fly.
Yeah.
The dopamine of finding a ward, like, you're just playing battleships when you're position 5, right? You put your sentry down, you look around, you see the little observer, you're like, yeah, you know?
Yeah, but that was a battleships with cheats, though, because he already knew it was there, so it's just like...
Doesn't matter.
He'd already played the submarine, and there was only one more place it could have been, so...
Have you ever played battleships on the plane? Because, like, do you know how all the plane seats on, like, the long-haul flights have, like, the little games on the TVs? You can actually play multiplayer battleships with other people on the plane.
Yeah, and a little pop-up comes up when you invite them, and there was a guy in front of me once on, like, a flight to America where I could see his screen, so I figured out his seat number and just kept chain inviting him whilst he was trying to watch a movie and was just watching him get annoyed. It was really funny.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you beat him by cheating, but instead you just annoyed this poor soul.
No, I invited him once just to see if he'd do it, and then I could have cheated because I could see his screen, but then he just declined, like, really, really aggressively, like, smacking on this thing, being like, no, go away, and I was like, oh, you didn't like that. All right, then.
Perfect if it told you the seat number, but it's like he just turns around, it's like, bro, chill.
I think it does, but, like, he never looked around for me or anything like that, so I was just there, like, oh. Good time. Shout out to that guy. He's having a miserable time. Just trying to watch, I think it was some Bollywood film. It was like really, really long for some reason. I enjoyed it. I was watching it.
Desire dragging the top wave. Often what you need to do on Shaker. You fissure the first wave, you then grab the second. Shaker is like the hero to set up good lane position. It is very, very hard to stop him from doing his job. That's why Cuckoo, of course, has taken the Glaive of Wisdom to try and just get as many clicks in as possible as he passes by.
Yeah, he'll always lose the trades, but again, you just don't trade with this hero on position 4. You just do this. Play in the weird places, block, try to grab wave. You're tanky enough to be able to soak a bit of harass without a single stat item.
Ooh, Cuckoo actually, he grabbed a range creep. So now with that one range creep, he might be able to just stop this entire pool. Yeah, aggroing it. Very nice.
Oh no, Desire in tatters. This entire game plan out the window. What do I do now?
They have to come in and Quell to protect it. Yeah, overall, Flipster Talon are going to be pretty happy with what's happening in top lane.
Yeah, 23 having a pretty free time. Jibbe getting what he can. It's not going to be a whole lot. Also, the Doom being pretty heavily bullied down to the bottom side as well. I mean, Conqueror is just such a strong laner. WS stepping up here. What are you doing? Stay away! And he will stay away. Joam going for the 0.1 second shackle. Okay, WS just decides to tank it with the Fairy Fire, but this is incredibly awkward stuff down in the bottom lane. WS might just consider a trip back to base. Oh god. So scary down here, I don't like it.
He has a salve coming out on Courier and a second bracer. You know that regen is going to be the key for him surviving this lane, but it does mean he's pretty much just pushed away from this entire creep wave, and Jokam, he's not going to complain. He's like, you know what? I'll take a wave under the tower if my offlaner can't. I'm just more intrigued to think about what's going to happen with Mobile and the mid-nature's Prophet. Right? Like, I believe in pubs when I've played against him, he's just gone for a Mjolnir build most games. Like, he's not tried to go for early orchids or anything kind of spicy for tempo. As I did make us look towards mid, they do get the kill on the Shaman bottom.
Yeah, Fly also getting kind of low here, but there's a fight going on in the river as Makoto tries to go for the rune and does do so successfully. So maybe rather than splitting up the wave and going for both, he just tries to bully Makoto on the bottom and knows that Desire's going to want that top water rune. Lets him get it because he has no bottle, and life is good.
Just the small thing, the efficiency. Oh wait, Fissure.
Smiling Knight getting jumped a little bit here, but might be going for this actually. Jokum, he's going to have another shackle available in just 2 seconds, giving Smiling Knight a pretty tough time here. They'll just be able to run him down. Right click's coming through, Impalement comes in from the side, but it won't save him, and Smiling Knight tries to bury himself in the trees, but there is no gap, and he will be falling.
That was a very, very nice kill. I think as soon as you identify a little bit of disconnect between the +5 and the +1, you need to apply that pressure. And Fly, he moves back to the small camp. Kunkka steps up, boom, you go for that kill. You know, Doom, even though he's a kind of a greedy offlaner, against correct matchups with Infernal Blade, you do plenty of damage to get the kill. Talon, I think both of their offlaners, I just see a bad and I just think offlane. Even though it's been played carry multiple times by people now.
Yeah.
Both of their side laners are pretty happy in the overall. Even though the CS is not looking very good for Doom, the fact that he just got the kill, that fixes it for him for sure.
Yeah, it shoves a band-aid on there. Little plaster. Maybe a Mr. Man plaster. Yeah, they're looking to fight this one. Desire coming in, and that extra stun is going to make the world of difference here and allow him to kill off WS and maybe look towards Jokam as well. TP in from Mobe, that global potential going to secure them the kill onto the Shaman. Of course, super annoying with the little hex at the end, but still gonna fall. Makoto grabs the invis, so he'll get the active rune. It's good news for him. Good. A little bit of damage, a tickle of damage onto the middle tower in the meantime as well.
Yeah, I take it back. Doom's not happy. AVULUS, after they get 1 kill on Kunkka, and they're like, you know what? Let's make sure this Doom is not in any way content. Yeah, they rotate really nicely down bottom, and they're diving a little bit top here. And they don't have any TP counts. Also, Jube could just TP out if he wanted to, but he opts not to.
Yeah, Jebe is gonna fall. 23 Savage grabs that kill. And now look over towards Desire as well with a rotation in from Makoto. Gonna get stunned up, but it's not gonna make a difference. Desire still gonna be going down here. That'll be Makoto grabbing a kill. The pretty key rotation from the Storm Spirit here. If you can find these early kills on Storm, start getting those galvanized, it just makes a huge difference to your game. You can farm better, you can move around the map better.
And 1 for 1 on the Wisdoms. Neither team trying to contest, just respecting it.
Your atrocity made.
He has the ultimate available again, so if he wants to try and find a kill, just to set up a side lane with a little bit of damage in, he can be there kind of like the killing blow. And I think the easiest target will always be this Doom. Trying to kill a mid-Storm Spirit when your lockdown is... The lockdown from AVULUS, it's what, Shaker? And then a little bit of Ringmaster, a little bit of Kunkka, right? Especially for a Storm Spirit. I think Makoto, with the game that he's at, he could potentially just take over this game and really, you know, lead from the front. As Desire, he walks towards mid and he finds 2 supports and a Storm Spirit. He's dead. He just throws down a ward.
Oh, it's such a costly death as well, because you're not just losing out on the obviously dying, but you're giving both a galvanized stack and a brain drain stack as well to Cuckoo. You know, these kills, you can't really be giving them away for free like that. Right, it's tough.
AVULUS also haven't made any ancient stacks. I think a really nice thing I love to see when you have Nature's Prophet on your team is to stack up the ancients, right? You get 1 ward there, which means every time Nature's Prophet wants to gank the map, he can full charge the damage on an Ancient and then send it through the map, everyone taking full damage. So AVULUS aren't really making any of the motions to enable that damage from the Prophet. Again, they are reacting a lot to the aggression of the Storm, to the Abaddon, killing off the Doom as well in the bot lane, but I would like to see these small things happen to enable Mobile to feel a little bit stronger in these engagements. 23 Savage gets Fisher blocked.
Yeah, this is quite the adventure he's going on here, and the Goo's time to stack up. He doesn't have another shield available. Mobe comes in to say hi. Ulti used by 23, of course, going to slow him down. Mobe just doesn't stop attacking him. Wrath of Nature is available, but they don't really need it, and they're not going to use it. Bring him down the old-fashioned way. Smiling Knight does die down on the bottom side at the same time as well, though, so both carries taking a full. All in all, I'm not really sure where that leaves us. I think it's a win for Flipster Talon.
Honestly, it's a bit more of 50-50. It really depends on how they deal with the tier 1 towers, right? Because middle tower's already half HP, top tower's getting pressured, bot tower's getting pressured. Wait, what is going to be the play? And they have the tree from this Prophet, but they don't really keep any other resources up here.
And Savage is back. He just rocks up back into the top lane again. Of course, they can't come in. Yeah, okay, well, the Wheel of Wonder a little bit off the mark, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. 23 Savage is just straight up going to die twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Joe coming Cuckoo trying to deal with Fly on the back lines. He's, of course, got the Escape Act, but yeah, it keeps him alive, and Cuckoo goes down as well. Okay, never mind. A big win for AVULUS here as they make some very questionable moves on 23 Savage.
Yeah, you know how like I'm talking about like the tier 1 tower, are they gonna take it, are they not? And you take a tower and another kill on the Abaddon, sure. It's a massive win. And it all starts because 23 Savage was posturing to take the offlane tower for Radiant, right? He gets fissure blocked by Desire on the Shaker, who's had quite a quiet game. And that single fissure kind of creates so many other moments. He is now once again picked off by the double sports and the Storm Spirit. I have said that once before in the cast. I probably will say it maybe once or twice more, but yeah, 23 Savage losing his tower like that is, well, let's just say rough. Yeah.
All I'm seeing is +5 in for Silencer.
Okay.
He is draining those brains.
Yeah, but like it never drains enough, you know? Like we always see like 20 here, 30 there, right? But have you really cast a game where it's like, oh my god, you can't cast your ultimate because you're that lacking of intelligence? I don't know. It needs to be buffed.
Never does anything. If you get the shard at 15, then maybe. Even then, I think it's yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot.
Jokes aside, it's like it's one of those spells where it's like, or innate, sorry, that I think it's not amazing and it's also not terrible. It's just like it just exists and it's just there. And Desire's dead again. They're just feeding off Desire.
Quicker than I thought, I'll be honest. Nice catch on Cuckoo here, though. He's definitely going to go down as he gets stuck between a rock and a hard place. The Wheel of Wonder takes him out. Makoto on the run. He's pretty low on mana, but has 5-1 charges and a shield rune. So bringing him down, shield and double damage. So bringing this guy down is no easy task, and they do realize that, and they back themselves away. Jibei really into the top lane here, but there is a ward down right in his face, and this double damage storm comes jumping on in and will be able to take him out. Jibei is gone. Desire, though, looking for the slam, does find it. Damage coming down. They'll take down Shokan, but they can't really do a whole lot more than that. 23 Savage looking on towards Smiling Knight. Smiling Knight is absolutely fine as AVULUS regain themselves as 4 and try to look for a target. Makoto is out of mana, but he's also too far away for them to catch, so they will be able to back themselves away on the side of Flipster Talon. Overall, a very, very good engagement from them as they continue getting the better of AVULUS in these small little skirmishes.
Yeah, I think it's critical for Flipster Talon that they don't bleed out a couple more kills in these moments, right? Like, when you kill the Bristle, if you trade a support, that's fine. It's now how you kind of react to the post end of that fight. Like, if Makoto overstayed his welcome and died, then sure, it's bad, but Smiling Knight, I'm saying overstaying your welcome. You're half HP. You've not seen the Storm Spirit show on a wave and you just go down. That's where I think Flipster Talon are just playing the map just better than AVULUS. Yeah.
Doomed.
It's his 5th death.
the speed or a Doom, you just can't escape it. WS, he's too quick. But is he quick enough? Let's find out. No, he is not. Wheeler wanna catch him out. WS will be falling. So, I mean, a kill on Desire and then dying with Doom on cooldown. I think you take that on the side of AVULUS.
Yeah, but
Kind of fight you're happy about.
they just keep TPing top and fighting.
They really do. They
Relentless.
sure do.
It is the wisdom. 14 minutes.
Yeah, true. There is a reason for it this time around. Jibe trying to keep himself alive and is actually able to do so. Makoto jumping in deep, gonna take a fall as they actually get the shrine on Smiling Knight as Savage so very low. No shield, no bird time, no life. Mobe takes him down. Finally, they outstay their welcome on Flipster Talon, and that is a very, very costly stay as well. Both your 1 and your 2 going down in that engagement. The team have no chance of being able to come in and help them out. We will see this one again.
It's just one of those games where, do you know when you're having a really good game on, like,
No.
or whatever? Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't.
Okay, think about when you might have a good game at some point in your Dota time, right?
That'd be amazing.
And then you convince your carry that the game's good, so he starts joining you for no reason. That's the vibe I'm getting. Like, if 23
Yeah.
Savage just chilled out a little bit, let his team do all the active play and the map breaking stuff, he would already had Radiance by now. Like, or maybe not now, but like he would be completing it very shortly. Like, there's a couple moves that he's making where it's like, I don't think you need to make them. Like, your team's just doing too well without you. Just chill. But of course, that is like the style of 23 Savage. He does like to be with his team, joining the fight, and we'll see if he can kind of tone it down just a little bit to ensure that AVULUS don't just delay. So Mobai, the Nature's Prophet on the mid lane, 9,000 net worth, of course, an exceptionally good farmer from pretty much any role, but sitting at 3 kills, 5 assists, got the Mjolnir. He is doing everything for his team at the moment. My concern for Nature's Prophet is always, once the snowballing in the game stops, that's not English, stops, what happens when you can't do damage in the fight and you're not level 25? Like, what happens in that kind of like weird transition of the game where the enemy's actually strong enough now to deal with you? Of course, I'm talking maybe 10 minutes ahead, but...
Yeah, you rat. You rat. That is what Nature's Prophet can do. Shove out waves, you know, go play in the side camps with these Mjolnir treants to cut waves and just make it to 25. Of course, this is future planning. Who knows if we'll get that deep. And there is an issue with that plan in that you're playing against Storm Spirit Doom. They have multiple ways to catch you, to lock you down, and to punish you for being out on the map, so... I'm surprised that 23 actually has as much farm as he does. I know he's been pretty much untouched up here in the top lane in terms of like pressure, and his deaths have kind of been from his own sort of decisions to fight. Yep. But still, he's doing okay, and he's going to have a reasonably good timing on the Radiance.
It helps that they've taken, 3 towers, right? Like, it's all the small little things that kind of just help. $50 gold away from the relic. That will then be able to create Radiance. Decent item talents coming across the board, right? SMY on the Doom, Radiance on the Kunkka. Everyone's getting some big ticket items.
Might be a bait here. It's that, like, yeah, they're gathering up in the top lane, looking at 23, but we're past the point in the game where they can just run him down twice without them being able to respond on Flipster Talon.
And the real problem with AVULUS is the fact that you have such a disparity in net worth between your mid to your off lane, right? Like, the Bristleback being at 6,800 net worth, if Bristleback doesn't take over the early game, take the early tower, push his team forward, he kind of just becomes like a walking blade mill, right? Like, he has no other kind of utility, no other playbook. Just, please, do a bit of damage to me, guys. And you compare that to a Doom who's going to have SMY and BKBs and this critical strike creep that he's eaten to do big damage. Like, there is going to eventually be this shift of the fight. Makoto jumps across Desire, really long zips to make sure he doesn't get hit by any of the spells of Shaker.
I just want to ult here. He might, but no, doesn't throw it down. Knows that he's just dead. Trying to make them work for it. Doesn't really work out. As Fly is going to be able to get down to the low ground, utilizing the whoopee cushion nicely to evade Makoto. Was very much hunting for him with this regen rune. This game's really sort of stuck in this neutral state at the moment, and I don't know how it's going to be broken. Maybe a Roshan attempt? Shokan is in the area, pinging it out. This would be a way to progress the game for Flipster Talon, and that's exactly what they want to do. Snakes come down. Go through Savage. Gonna get started on taking down the big beast.
AVULUS is there, hanging out there, still looking. He does have the blink dagger and a smoke. If they want to go a little bit crazy here on the map, then this would be it. They just ooh, I like it. It's the fake one. It's like it's the tip of the hat. Like we know you're there.
Yep, we have the
Desire. He's doing a deep wraparound on the right hand side.
The Fly is in pretty deep here and may just be falling. He's got a strongman tonic if he wants to use that to buy himself a little bit more time, but yeah, certainly does. And well, it buys him exactly that, a bit of time, but still will be falling. As Flipster Talon, they get themselves an Aegis, they get themselves a kill, and still, AVULUS unable to really piece together a big play. A couple of skirmishes have looked okay, but in terms of these big game-deciding plays, it's just been pretty much non-existent from them. Desire will die. Makoto gonna be fine. Aegis now in hand, so he's just gonna be doing tricks.
Percent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's the carry.
Jokam found him. He didn't die. Then Doom was like, yo, what up? You're doomed and dead.
Yeah, that'll happen, hey. As I mentioned before, you know, if this Prophet is seen on the side lanes, then we'll probably just send one of their many Prophet-killing heroes to go and deal with him.
And another reason why... Okay, let's watch Makoto. He zips around Jibe, gets protected by the global.
Yeah, he's having a great time. Just been trying to finish off Fly, but Fly's got the box to try and get himself out. Cuckoo very low to Jibe. Doesn't quite finish the job, but now Jibe's in an awkward situation. Smiling Knight is behind him. A boat could become available if he wants it. The problem is, killing off Makoto here just doesn't feel good. He's going to respawn, he's going to have full mana, full health. Slam comes down though. They see the opportunity to get that ulti out from 23 Savage pretty early, and they're going to take it, but it's going to cost them very heavily. Jibe and Desire both full. Sure, they get an Aegis, but it's really very high cost.
It's kind of desperate plays getting made there, right? It's like under the threat of the Storm Spirit. It's like, you know what? Let's just take the Aegis away. Let's remove a little bit of his confidence to then maybe take the fight later, especially as they knew the Global's on cooldown. But it just doesn't feel good. Makoto, he's just zipping around the entire map. He knows he is close to unkillable, especially when he gets that BKB. He's only one creep wave away from it. There it is. Incredible timings coming out from Flipster Talon. BKB on Doom, BKB on Storm Spirit. Like what? Okay, to be fair, 23 Savage. I was hoping I could say Manta as well in the same sentence, but he's 1,000 gold away. All right, he's still cooking, but
I do like it when you start like a big impactful statement and you click and you're like, can I just lie about this part of it? No, it's a bit too far off the truth, though.
Yes,
I'll have to do a bit of
unfortunate.
backtracking, but yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Cuckoo though, he's a happy lad. He does have the greedy enchantment on his silencer. That is critical.
Oh, yeah.
You always want to get to Refresher. So it's like as soon as you get any of the greedy options, you take them. Because your perfect itemization is Refresher second. But Jokam, he's hunting for Smiling Knight. But doesn't connect.
He's just watching him.
Yep. He is.
It's a bit of a... He just likes to watch from the tree line. Fair enough.
I see.
Yeah, 22 minutes again. Like I've just been waiting, and I think I need to stop waiting for AVULUS to make a play because I don't think it's going to happen. I just need to accept that.
Do we need to like have a slight intervention potentially for Mobai to stop using his ultimate? Because he's just taking every drop of gold from the map in regards to like the creep waves. So now his team's forced to only jungle. So that your mid Prophet is buying BKB and Mione. He has Pike. But now, like, your
See him, he's farming a dangerous part of the map, and he will be punished for it.
And then he dies.
TP's right under a ward. This is my prophet right here, dude. This is my guy. Well, this is dribbling on the map from Smite Knight as well. This guy's been having his farm stolen this entire game. Like, the Wrath of Nature has been catching him out, and he is not happy.
Did you see how passionately he was talking for a second as well? I don't know if we have player cam reactions, probably not, but it's fine. He was like, you know, like the like one of those ones.
The rap god?
He had a bit of a vibe on that. But that's where, you know,
I don't blame him. He's been having his farm stolen. You know, like this Prophet's been going really far ahead, and then you go make a mistake like that. Like it feels bad. I don't know if that's what was being said, but
sure. But it's a beautiful ward though, in regards to the Shaman, right? Like he puts the ward. Because naturally in Niche's Prophet, you want to try and farm like the corner camps, right? You TP in, you farm them, you send your tree out with the Mjolnir, you take the creep wave, you get the XP. Like, it's a really efficient way to farm. So any side lane ward means you're going to kill. So now look at his next TP from the Niche's Prophet. He comes down to the Ancient camp. Like, you're always one bad TP away from a Shaman catching you. And it's why Shaman is, you know, rising in popularity, is this fact that you naturally like to hide in the trees, get that one kill. Like you don't mind AFKing for 2 minutes if in the 3rd minute you're killing a core, right? It's
But I think you also like the reason it's an extra smart play from Flipster Talon is because they realize that Mobe had just picked up his BKB, so they know that he's going to be feeling a little bit more confident and that, you know, he's going to go to these dangerous parts of the map to start farming under the cover of the BKB. Full sense of security, absolutely abused perfectly by the Blink Dagger from Jokem. I love it.
Right, he's dead.
No way. Yeah, he's dead. Close though.
I think I've just been conditioned where I don't like when someone says a hero is dead when they could still live. So I now always say they could die, but then obviously it's like they're gonna die. I don't know, it's awful.
Yeah, I mean, to get into the weeds of that, I think it's always.
Oh wait, you've just TP'd into a Doom!
What? Oh, well, he has got the BKB, but is that going to make a difference? I don't know. He might kill him. Hurricane Pike out. Now he's trying to survive, but he's just never living through that. So yeah, that's. This game's kind of cursed, huh?
For MOBA, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like the one hero that could kind of make this a game for AVULUS is just getting owned, unfortunately. He's getting caught out a lot.
Right. Just so that we can kind of complete the conversation, right? Do you know when I said my concern with Prophet is when you finally hit the brick wall of not doing stuff and you're waiting. We have very happily already hit this point of the game very, very quickly. Like for him to fight, he cannot stand his ground against an Abaddon. He needs his team to be ready. His Kunkka went for S and Y, so it's like he can't really, you know, BKB and brush off that damage. The Bristleback has nothing. Jubei's walking around with a Sange and Blade Mail at 27 minutes. Like, it feels like everyone's just playing for their own game, and there's no, like, I'm not seeing a single item or option for AVULUS where it's like, okay, that's the team moment, right? You compare that to Flipster Talon, every item, every move, feels like one person's enabling the next guy, right? And yeah, that disparity really is just giving Flipster Talon just the edge. Now 8,000 gold ahead, and they are looking to most likely get the next Roshan and then try and progress the map.
Yeah, and they've still had a lot of map to play on AVULUS. It's just the one hero that's been caught out time and time again is their most rich hero, the one that's been taking up most of that space. So it's a problem, but we'll see how they address it if they can find a way back into this one. Again, going for that TP pretty deep into the enemy side of the map, but you sort of have to. It's just how the hero plays at the moment. Dark Mage comes down as well, which is really going to signify to Flipster Talon that they don't really want to be playing anytime soon. Like it's a big safety thing when that Wrath of Nature comes down. You just know, oh, okay, they're not trying to make a play. We can do what we want.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Wisdoms, they're trading wisdoms. Flyers able to very smartly grab theirs, whilst 23 was on their opponents as well. So 1-1 on wisdoms. Mobe trying to cut waves.
We do have a potential double AC occurring. Both the Abaddon and the Doom are looking to purchase it. Yep, the Doom has got the plate mail. Yep.
Doom has Devil's Bargain, so...
And that is why 23 Savages have bought the Basher instead. Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Your angle on that was luckily Doom could just sell it when they both buy it. As if communication wasn't going to happen in the next 5 minutes.
Obviously the ideal situation is that they say, right, we're both buying one, let's one of us not. But in the event that they both did, it's not really a big deal compared to normal games.
Yep.
That's the best thing about Devil's Bargain, is it? If you're bad.
What's your most played hero, Nomad?
Definitely not Doom.
Big wrap around there from AVULUS. Desire leading the charge. They see Joe.
It's a good kill. It's a very good kill to just blow up Jokam, start this one off, and they're trying to do that, but jump in across from Mikoto, looking to get a return onto Desire. They haven't even finished off Jokam yet. He's still got the chicken fingers, but there you go. The Wrath of Nature comes through, finishes the job. Mikoto's got to be careful. Mobe does a lot of damage, but in comes WS, just charging into the middle of the fight, looking for the Nature's Prophet. Gets a lot of damage off. The box is going to buy him a little bit of time, but I think Mobe's days are numbered. He's just got to turn around and start clicking. And that's exactly what he's going to do as he does go down. Buyback though coming out. They want to turn this fight around. 23 Savage, he is going to be going down here. WS not particularly healthy either, but Jibe falls before he can start getting those slows off. Mobe buys back, TP's into the fight, and there's just nobody there. But there is a Roshan up for grabs. This could make it worthwhile if they can find the angle to grab it. But Flipster Talon are about to be back with 4 of their heroes. I don't know if Roshan's even on the cards here.
It's also walking from top to bottom, right? Because they just turned daytime, but we're going to see the highlight of the replay of the fight here. Very, very split from Flipster Talon. You got, 24 Savage fight on the left side, you got the Storm Spirit disengaging on the right side, WS then solo dooming the Nature's Prophet, kind of committing by himself with the BKB. Everyone was just kind of all by themselves, and still the question mark on the buyback from the Nature's Prophet, that will be maybe something that we talk about in 5 to 6 minutes time if they aren't able to convert.
Going back to live, we have got a Roshan attempt taking place here from AVULUS. Flipster Talon though, they're in the neighborhood, and Mobe has been extremely blocked in by Jokam.
There is no Doom for 42 seconds.
You need to kill these snakes. You need to kill, there you go. Okay, Snake's dead, Vision gone. Yeah. Will they have 40 seconds to wait? Mikoto jumping on the backlines, trying to find Desire once again. Desire with the Eels, going to buy himself a little bit of time. Flies in trouble as well before something's up to the high ground, but Desire is dead. Down goes your Earthshaker with no buyback. Fly is dead as well, but WS, he is getting beaten to a pulp by Mobe, but Mobe now gets hexed up. Cuckoo and Jokam on him on the side, doing the damage, but the BKB comes out. Global Silence comes off cooldown, used immediately here as Mobe is just being chased down by 23 Savage. Mobe tries to use the trees to get himself some space, but he's dead. Makoto takes him out, now looks towards Jibe. Jibe's going to fall as well. It's an ultra kill from Makoto. It won't be a rampage as they do get out on a Smiling Knight. Yeah, no bash coming out from 23. But a fantastic fight from Flipster Talon. They poke and prod and delay long enough to get everybody back in the engagement, get their cooldowns back, and they tear AVULUS apart. And that will give them an Aegis on Makoto now once again.
But look how beautiful that fight was. Like, the Shaman found the Ringmaster. Makoto then goes from the Shaker, so he goes from Ringmaster to Shaker, then goes to, Ringmaster's back to the high ground. Let's re-zip to the high ground to make sure we kill him there. I don't know, just the fight selection, who they went for, was beautiful, and the fact that Nature's Prophet had used buyback in the previous fight, the entire time it was that threat. What if the Nature's Prophet dies? Can you truly fight? And the argument is you can't, right? Like in a full 5-on-5 clash, the Nature's Prophet, until he gets maybe like Butterfly Satanic, and he's not doomed, he cannot really ever stand his ground. Makoto just continuing to criteria. Yeah, look at him just destroying the map.
Lock.
Blood. Wait.
Last word. Pop.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Brain drain.
Yeah, the way that they've been playing this, other than that top fight where AVULUS did do the double buyback and it kind of looked a little bit disconnected from Flipster Talon, everything else has looked so aggressive. And now Smiling Knight's top. They just showed middle when he's by the... Yeah. They're looking a little bit lost, mate. I'll be honest. I would be surprised if AVULUS. That is very true.
Yeah, just take it back to basics. Get Smiling Knight back on his carry. Get it's just, I don't know, this has felt like a very impotent game from AVULUS. I mean, I don't want to take too much away from Flipster Talon. They have played really well. You know, Makoto, 12 of 1, just zipping around, having an absolutely beautiful game on the Storm Spirit. WS has some nice dooms as well, but I don't feel like they had to work too hard for it.
But I think like early on the group stage, you're looking for teams that can win a game in their style of Dota, and it be their game the entire time, right? And that's a good sign of a team that can, you know, make upsets and make runs. Sure, we are looking at a group stage 1 to play a group stage 2 to then play a playoffs, right? Like, it's not as if a group stage is done in 2 days' time and suddenly they're playing like the big games in a week, right? They really have to make sure that this form holds true the entire time, but it is a very good sign for Flipster Talon, especially with, you know, 23 Savage recently, you know, joining the roster on loan, that they can play in this fashion. I mean, Makoto has always been just like a star player from the region, right? It's
yeah,
a very exceptional mid laner. Yeah.
Yeah, never had that like big breakout, you know, never had the high finishing place at any tournaments or anything, but he can play with the best of them, you know, he can. There's Mobe getting caught out, once again up in the top side. BKB used as he tried to get away, but 23 bashed him up, abyssalled him up, stopped him escaping, and it's going to be another death for the Prophet.
Yeah, I think the best result that they had was the 2023 version of Talon. When they third.
Animajor was yeah.
No, it was Reard Masters 2023, Lima Major.
Oh,
they got third in both of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like, they have had good form before, but yeah, they've been on a downward trajectory kind of since then. Desire running through the river, getting global Mumo. 23 Savage just taking some casual buildings.
Yeah, neutral creep to Desire.
But he tried to blink dodge, but still gets out.
Yeah. I don't think he cares though, he's kind of just chilling on the front lines. His whole team's behind him. I mean, there is no global, but Shurkam's there. The long old shackle to help out. Correct.
1 minute left in the
Savage is not allowed to leave. There's a nullifier finished off for 23. I really love how he's embraced this role of kind of like secondary carry. You know, he's kind of more of the mid laner, just enabling Makoto.
That's good.
Blink and
you have 3 cores of it equally scaling. Like, the net buff is it's just beautiful for them. Any core at any minute could just become the carry in the game.
Very luxurious position to be in. You can go for these utility pickups like the Nullifier and feel absolutely fine with it.
Finally, the butterfly is now complete on Mobai. What's his scoreline? I remember saying it, like 80 minutes he was, what, 205 or 305 or something? He's now 5, 6, and 7. Like, you can really see how well Flipster Talon did at just shutting down the Nature's Prophet. Like, forcing 6 deaths onto him, minimizing his kill and assists by what? An insane amount. Like, this butterfly timing, like, imagine if the Nature's Prophet didn't die, right? He didn't get picked off. He got the butterfly. He then got another item. Like, this easily could have been a very different game, where we're praising the farm efficiency from the mid lane, but Flipster Talon, they identified that very, very quickly and very masterfully stopped it. And WS has the Satanic on the Doom, the right-click Doom with the AC, the Satanic. He is so hard to kill him. Like, how would you actually kill a core in this game? One's got borrowed time, one has Satanic, the other has, you know, Ball Lightning.
Yeah, and a global
by global. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's feeling pretty impossible. Flipster Talon in a fantastic place in this game. There's yeah, not much left in this one, I think. I mean, we might hear that 25 timing on Prophet, and then we've got this weird sort of ratty situation to be in. But again, like, Prophet is an OP hero. Like, nobody would really argue that Prophet isn't like a ridiculously strong hero at the moment, but if you let it through and you have a good idea on how to counter it, which they obviously do on Flipster Talon, then you can just nullify this hero. As long as nothing else becomes like a secondary threat, which you don't have answers to, which has not been the case, like Smite Might has not been an issue, you're going to be absolutely fine, and that's really what we're seeing here. Just an out strategy from Flipster Talon. Like, I realized earlier when I said it's not too, it feels like it hasn't been hard for Flipster Talon. that does take away a bit too much from like what they've been able to do in this game, because it's not like they've violently outdrafted or anything like that. I just think their strategy has just been so much better. No, it hasn't looked hard in the game, but the preparation coming into it was obviously very, very good, and their ideas coming into it were just very strong.
I mean, this is probably the harshest statement that you can ever make, but it feels like we're watching a team versus a stack.
I don't blame you for saying that. I don't. 23 gonna get down to the low ground, and with the borrowed time, buys himself some time. But won't be able to really approach the high ground again until that's off cooldown. It's WS kind of being focused at the moment. He's getting low. He's gonna pop the BKB, and then the Satanic coming down, trying to keep himself alive, trying to heal up. Mobe and Smiling Knight cannot finish the job. He gets off the Doom onto Smiling Knight. Man to dodge out onto the Slam, but 23 Savage is dead as well. Hold on. We have a game on our hands. Smiling Knight's still going to go down to that Doom, but Flipster Talon really trying to push that high ground with no Aegis, with no borrowed time as well. It got very awkward very quickly. That was almost a little too far for Flipster Talon, and you know, there's still some life in this AVULUS team.
A little bit. That's why, you know, when your back's against the wall as a caster, you gotta pull out the team versus stack line. You know, that always empowers a team to play a little bit better.
Use your caster curse for good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did it for the good of the good of the community. I'm wanting a competitive game. See right there. See where that arrow is? That's team versus stack. Bam! Look at that.
Yeah,
I just don't know if I just don't have another one in me. I feel like I've used my biggest card very early on.
Will it normally I'd save it. AVULUS? Will they be able to become a bit more cohesive? Become more of a sort of
say it
team? No. Yeah.
Oh, this is Monka. Alright, that's your move.
Desire gonna get himself out. Makoto doesn't have the most mana in the world right now, but oh, never mind. Yes, he does. He's got 1 billion lotuses for some reason. Thanks, team. Just send your team off to farm lotuses for you if you're a mid lane Storm Spirit, guys. It's that easy.
Wait, he's gonna do so much damage. Like, if the Nature Prophet is uncontested, he's got the Daedalus, he's got the Butterfly, like, everything that you want on your Nature Prophet is in play. It's just, can he get in the right position? Can he get the right clicks off? Is he protected by the Kunkka? Sure, they're down 15k gold, sure they're down, you know, 1.5 racks, but there is still that sliver of hope for them because of just how much damage they can do. It is just hard to replicate the previous fight they had. But last fight as well, it was Doom by himself. Storm was off in the jungle. He wasn't really trying to make the commitment to the fight. But they are smoked up, both teams.
Looks like they're going to clash here. The Prophet has not entered the fight just yet. They will be waiting for that on Flipster Talon, but WS getting his Doom because, oh my god, jumping from Makoto! Finding a great jump in the backlines. Fly and Mobe deleted in the blink of an eye. Fly with a buyback. Makoto still jumping around, doing whatever he wants. Mobe gonna have to buy back here if they want to stand a chance of winning this game. Desire also gonna use his as well. WS still alive, finally falls. Makoto though, just doing what he wants. Killing Smiling Knight. Another buyback coming in the pit. Here is your Prophet. He's getting controlled up for now, though. It's an ultra kill for Makoto, and he's not done yet. Mobe jumping on Tim now, trying to fight up all by himself. His team are not here yet. Mobe is completely alone, trying to do it all by himself. Desire on the backline, take down 2, but Mobe is dead. Desire's gonna die next as well. It's a rampage for Makoto as he takes down everybody on the side of AVULUS. They keep coming, and he keeps killing. Nice shackle, but the GG's been called. Game number 1. It does go to Flipster Talon.
And what a game as well.
Let's jump into it and find out exactly who is going to be taking this series. Is it going to be a 2-0 for Flipster Talon, or will AVULUS be able to make it a 1-1? We'll find out.
It is so critical. Every time, like, for Flipster Talon, right, they already won game 1. Getting a 2-0 here, you know, only the top 4 teams of each group goes through to the next group stage, right? So it is so important that you don't just drop a game because you're getting a bit relaxed after your first game win. Like, even the best of 2s don't feel as stressful as a best of 3. You need to make sure you get as many points as possible. And we will see, of course, AVULUS, they're the ones who need to kind of bounce back, especially after that game 1 defeat. Slark
Yeah, they need to
showcasing.
inspire a bit of confidence in themselves and in us as well.
They did look defeated on the player cams, like across all the board. None of them had like a joke or a smile. It just felt like everyone was very serious. Everyone was very. Also, why is the Slark on fire? What cosmetic is making this guy burn?
It's pretty intense, isn't it? Yeah, I believe this is one of the bugged gems, I guess. Oh, we have WS having to burrow strike away from danger here. I'm not sure they have the catch enough to be able to bring him down, although they're keeping it going here. Fly believes. So you have the chicken fingers, not quite yet, but he's going to have another shackle available. Desire continuing to chase, and there's a power shot finishing the job. Desire gets first blood, perfectly timed as well, as he was going for the burrow strike there, but Desire letting go at the perfect moment to get the kill shot.
Not only did he get the first blood, he also blocks the camp with the sentry. So stopping the ancient stacks from getting made is going to further annoy the Sand King. And
Yep.
He takes Bar Strike. Like, you never want to take Bar Strike level 1. But yeah, very, very good start for AVULUS.
Jokam already being annoying by getting the D ward mid by utilizing Barracuda.
He also does see the other ward as well. So he will deward that relatively soon.
Top lane going to be a little bit annoying for Jebe. Certainly not a free lane versus Medusa. The constant snake harass gets very annoying very quickly. Nice last hit from
Taking
Desire down the bottom. Yeah, Fly. Not having a wonderful time here. He's got the shackles, but if he goes for it, then WS will get in range for a burrow strike. So it certainly seals his fate. So does the right thing and just runs away, and will eventually get away. Smiling Knight going to be left to this lane by himself. A big switch up from game 1 for Smiling Knight. They're playing the Conquer in the sort of utility core, not really a carry in that
the
circumstance.
Slark so obnoxious. Look at him. He just followed fire the entire time on the Slark. Just keep chasing him.
Please leave me alone, bro. It takes some
Because of
unnecessary tower hits at least.
But also, Morphling's Cur is stuck at the tier 2. Like, because of Jokam's positioning and how aggressive he is, like, we're not getting the tangos out on the Morphling from the... He might send them out now, because he does see the Slark disengage for a second, but uses the Barracuda, gets another D-Ward. You see that on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. But because of the D-Ward, now we get to see Morphling finally get his tangos from Courier.
Hooray.
Very, very annoying so far in the laning phase. 2 D-Wards.
Radiant's
A
current
lot of pressure on Shaman. Didn't get a kill though. But elsewhere,
Jokam knows what he's doing. Meanwhile, over towards mid, it's been a bit of a trade. I'd say a slight advantage for Makoto at the moment, as Mobe will be able to grab this water rune, which he's been savouring. Bring a creep wave around. Makoto just trying to be annoying, catch out Mobe, and does do so successfully.
can be a little bit rough for Tiny, right? You are a 0 armor hero. He gets the very annoying, physical damage deal in the early game.
Yep, some nice CSing here though. Gonna try to help even the score a bit, maybe even push him ahead a tiny bit. Of course, Makoto has a massive wave coming in at the moment, so his CS looking deceptively lower than it should be. That's Makoto gonna secure that range creep.
Cuckoo in the Lotus fight top.
Ooh, he's very low here. Might just be finished off, although a nice snake bouncing back from 23. Might get him the kill onto Desire. No mana for Desire, which means 23 can bring him down. Jibe coming in to fight up against 23, and 23's out of mana. Pops a mango, pops a stick, realizing he's not going to survive this one. Oh, a mango from the courier! Where did that come from? Is it going to be enough to turn this around, though? I don't think so. Jibe is just clicking. He just clicks. He just keeps on clicking.
Ugh. The 60 bonus damage, just click away, sure. The one courier delivery is pretty high, but because he gets the Lotus, he wins the trade. Maybe if the courier is a little bit quicker and then he doesn't give away the Lotus and the Medusa gets the kill, but he had to disengage from the Lotus contest to then get the Mango. It was a matter of seconds, could have changed the outcome, but fair play to Jibe from standing his ground there.
For A-clicking on the hero.
Yeah. Fair play, boss.
Yeah, sometimes that's what Dota's about. You don't need to drop the Firestorm. You don't need to cast spells. You just need to commit to doing the right thing. Bottom lane, that's a pretty aggressive shackle coming out from Fly here. A burst strike through the both of them. Is that going to save WS's life? No, it is not. He does go down, but it's going to be a trade as Fly will fall as well. But a trade which they'll be very happy about on the side of AVULUS, giving Smiling Knight a better game. Although this Slark is not giving up on the Morphling. 9 stacks of Essence Shift. Pretty annoying, but he can now go full Agi, pop the wand, and get to relatively high health again.
And you know Jokam's mentality, right? The fact that he had 3 creeps he could have CS'd there, and instead he's like, no, I'm just gonna keep clicking this Morphling. Like he traded farm for the fight, and it is interesting to see like different 4 players who have done different things there, but yeah, he wants to bully as much as possible. I mean, these lanes are all about the bully, right? It's like Windrunner with the power shot, Slark with the Essence Shift steal. It's
Jokam is stuck. They don't know
a little bit
stuck, but he is.
He's now dying very, very slowly.
Freedom! Run! Yeah, top lane Jibby getting kind of low. Ooh, Fly seeing an opportunity at least to go in and place some vision down, trying to catch WS, going for some stacks here. Doesn't quite do so, but recognizing that he's been gone and that maybe there's an opportunity to catch him farming, but there isn't.
Dire's structures are fortified. Are scanning.
Ooh. I was looking at Kunkka mid there, could have been a solo kill, but in every lane there's so much bullying. Like I'm looking mid, we're watching top, bottom's fighting. Everyone's fighting everywhere.
Shotgun making some stacks for WS to take later on. As Desire gets the haste rune away from both Makoto and Cuckoo. Very risky to go for that one into those 2 heroes by himself, but you know, he's got the heart of a champion. He'll never back down from a situation like that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Desire trying to go for the body blocks.
Structures are fortified.
There's no real damage there. Even if he was to hit a shackle, you'd need like the Underlord to be in right click range to even entertain a kill.
You also need Shackle Shot to be leveled up.
Tower is under attack.
It does help. Leveling shackle before like 4 is pretty illegal.
A little bit.
Unnecessary.
Oh, here we go though. Rotation in from Fly, managing to close the gap onto Cuckoo. Makoto's here though, trying to help out. Throws the boat down onto Fly and will be able to kill off this Shaman. Shaman will not be able to kill Cuckoo. He lives. Power shot available, but not going for it. Desire doesn't believe.
Dire's middle tower
Well, that's fair
is
enough.
under attack.
Looking at the net worth, we are seeing Morphling doing pretty well, but Kunkka matching the farm and the Medusa also just slowly creeping up. Can Smiling Knight do enough? That is the question. When will he join the fight as well?
Yeah, we're
Soon has to
anticipating early
complete-
fighting from Morphling. I feel like every carry these days, if they get a decent start, likes to turn up to fights.
I think he's required for a tier 1 siege, but he has to balance the fight like near perfectly. At any point he joins a fight incorrectly, he will just fall away on the net worth.
Yeah.
As the Tiny does combo on the Slark and goes, you know what, I can't kill you, boss.
Could be in some danger here. Makoto's nearby, of course, with the invis. Doesn't have the boat for another 9 seconds, though, so that's going to make things a little bit awkward. And Fly coming in from the sideline. Looking for a bit of retribution. Not sure they have the damage to bring down Makoto, though. Maybe trying to go for a toss back. Does find it. Gets him under tower. Morphling is here. They need to kill him off, and they will do so. There's a kill shot coming out from Desire. Makoto killed, and supports can't really do much about that.
Very, very good rotation from the Morphling. If he doesn't come in, like, do they do enough damage? Do they enable Desire with the power shot? So yeah, we said, like, when will he be active? And about 20 seconds later, mate. That's exactly when he's going to be active.
Absolutely.
Radiant
Sees an opportunity like that, why wouldn't you?
They take a stack. Yeah, AVULUS has done a very good job at stopping the stacks, right? They blocked the first Ancient camp, they took the double stack. There is a triple Ancient stack now available for the Sand King if he wants to take it. We're not looking at, like, quad stacks and, you know, big economy. That's where AVULUS have identified a really, really big threat, and It could be the lifeline that they need in this game too.
Approaching the 10-minute mark, and again, it's just been a game of farming, stacking, the occasional kill, but very much focused on this. And Jokam, he's been particularly annoying in trying to swing the balance in that regard. He's been jumping in, he's been stealing creeps, he's been giving vision, been taking wards. Like, Jokam, probably the standout player so far in this game on the Slark. I'm sorry to say.
It's fine. He's literally on fire. It's okay.
Yeah. Lovely cosmetic.
I've not seen the 5 neutral item versus the 0 neutral yet. That's where you have Sand King farming jungle very quickly. Enemy team not really hitting jungle.
Yeah, Medusa farming ancients as well.
Yeah.
Certainly helps.
Quite damning.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Choose what they want. Yeah.
One of those like passive buffs. Well, nice shackle shot out onto the Slark, and now the shackles onto the Slark, but Shadow Dance available means that Jokam shouldn't really be in too much trouble here. Though the power shot, of course, a little bit scary, but it won't have enough damage to kill him even if it lands. Barracuda's just too damn good. Healing up nice and quickly in those shadows. As Makoto's almost hitting his first time, he's going to have a Blade Mail pretty shortly. Again, not one of those items which you kind of run in and make stuff happen with. More of a run in and stop stuff happening to you with.
The smoke top, they've got the Shaman, the Windrunner, and the Tiny. Are they going to make a deep wraparound from mid to top to try and find the Medusa? 23 Savage,
I think you might be right.
Yet to have a point in his ultimate, so there is going to be no stone gates here. Unless he's able to get level 10.
Not quite.
Not from that great wave.
Doesn't quite get there and should be going down here. Global Silence comes down, but 23 Savage, he's toast. Nice rotation in from AVULUS. They show a bit of life, get the kill onto that Medusa, and start their game off right. 23 Savage is gone. In the backlines though, Jokam just farming couriers. Now an epicenter coming out onto Mobe, trying to bring him down. They're going to take a lot of damage, but they do have it with the Sand King and with the Kunkka. Kunkka now being beaten up though as a response though. They're looking for the kill and they're going to find him. Makoto goes down, Jibe gets the kill. Jokam under the cover of the Shadow Dance trying to bounce himself out of this one. Cuckoo also trying to help out where he can, throws out a last word. They'll get his support out of there. But they do lose the Kunkka and the Medusa in back-to-back engagements, trading out the Tiny for it.
WS. I was about to just walk into the Morphling there. Yeah, the speed in which AVULUS played was very, very good. They get the kill on the Medusa top, instantly then Fiend's Gate to the mid. And it's like these quick plays is why you would pick the Underlord, right? It's murder, look. Oh wait, they're out of position. Go again. Because as soon as that global fades, they chill for a second. They're like, okay, what's happening? Tiny TPs, and we're going to jump back to the
another fight going in. Yeah, Desire's going to be brought down, but they do snake trap Sand King. He's got the phase boots though, but it doesn't matter. He gets blasted by Mobe. Mobe backs out from the side. Very tempted to toss Fly in there just to watch him die, but doesn't do so.
They're your thoughts. I'm pretty sure competitively that's not going to be happening.
Everybody that's playing Tiny has always got it in the back of my mind, trust me.
Yep.
It's just the pros bury it deeper than the rest of us, but they're there. So I could just kill him.
This is where the carry's itemization will take a slightly different path, right? You got one's going to have Manta on the Medusa, the other one is still, diadem and a recipe away from the Manta. Sure, eventually they might, still buy the same items, but for 23 Savage, will he join the fight like the Morphling's been doing? Will he continue to farm? Like, is his big timing just the Butterfly or the Scardia? Like, that's why I'm intrigued to at least get into the mind of 23 Savage.
It's a very interesting point as well, because just as heroes, entering a fight means incredibly different things, because Morphling is so mobile and has attribute shift, which means that when he enters a fight, really it's kind of like casual. You're allowed to soft commit and escape and save your spells and, be safe. Meanwhile, Medusa, if she's in, she's in. And your whole team better be in as well. And talking about the whole team being in, they are in at the middle lane, and Mobe is going to get dropped. Epicenter coming smashing on through and giving them the damage they need to kill off this Tiny. And now 23 Savage arrives for the siege.
Arcane power.
Ooh, Fly trying to get cheeky on the Wisdom Shrine, but has to back himself
Radiant's
away.
middle tower is under attack.
You not stand your ground against a slot. I think many supports can even go near that hero.
Radiant's middle tower is
Oh, he had snakes. Do you think he could have just dropped snakes and tried to...
He'll just pounce away or push shadows, but he does get the Hex after he used the Dark Pact, then very, very nice.
Solo kill for Desire.
Big solo kill. Very rewarding when you do eventually kill a Slug. The worst thing is, like, even with Dark Pact, there's like this weird like lingering of like the final stages of Dark Pact where it still dispels and
top tower is under
you go for a Hex.
Yeah.
Oh, I just mistimed it by like 0.1 second and he's gone. So that was a very clear like that had faded. He hexed. You're dead.
Absolutely. Ooh. Just narrowly surviving that attempt on the Tormentor. And then you go hit in sit in the most rubbish heal in the game. I despise
Omni would
the
like to have a
heal
word,
from
actually.
Tormentor. Yeah, true.
Okay, it can't be more though.
You hate it.
Yeah, but it can't be more. It would be how broken would it be? You take Tormentor, lose your HP, and then get full HP from from taking it, right? Like,
But just don't exist, you know. Like if it's gonna be there at all, then either make it do something or don't do something. Just be a bit like, oh, I guess
I think
get a slight. You basically get a tango for a bit. Enjoy. Here we go. Jump in on to Desire. Nice catch coming out from Jocam and WS. WS has been extremely active on the Sand King. It's really nice to see.
Going back to that hill quickly, it feels like it's just enough hill to stop like Zeus ult killing you. It's like a Valve dev one day died to Zeus ult at the Tormentor and was like, you know what, I'm gonna add just enough
Yeah.
heal so that I will never die to this one spell again, but it has no meaning for literally anything else. That's probably what happened. Look towards the Talon are just, they feel content. I'm not feeling any desperation in them. Even though AVULUS is the one making the plays, and Morphling's having an exceptional game, right? 1-0-5, got the man to the Vlads at the 17-minute mark, like, looking absolutely incredible. But it feels like Flipster Talon just don't care. Maybe 23 Savage and this Skadi timing is all they want. Like, you hit this, run down the lane as 5 and you're good, but AVULUS continue to try and speed up the game, taking the more
Roshan. It's been pinged out though. Makoto gonna go in with the bungee cord already. Jocam trying to give him the vision, trying to figure out what's going on, but it's a little scary. Now he's used that ulti, could be an opportunity. Mobe gonna toss him back into the reaches of his team, and they will take down Jocam. D-Ward is going to be successful from Cuckoo, but it's getting awful gusty over here as Cuckoo gets dragged back into Mobe and Jibe. They're going to be able to chain this up with another kill. Cuckoo is gone. Roshan still being taken slowly but surely by Smiling Knight and by Fly. The two of them inside of the pit will finish off the Rosh and get ages towards their Morphling. AVULUS are coming online. Flipster Talon not ready and not able to stop that Roshan.
top tower is under attack.
And just they identify the timings of Flipster Talon and just keep playing just a step quicker, right? This is so refreshing to see, especially after how disconnected they were in the first game. It really just felt like they weren't on the same page. This game, it's so different, right? Like, they get an opportunity to kill, they go. They got the tossbacks on a Tiny, they're killing. They see a hero out of position, their Fiend's getting. Like, it really is just a much better AVULUS from game one.
Ooh, Desire
Opening to
able
protect
to...
the...
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Global Silence comes out, stops him being able to get a stun onto 23, so he can just TP away. Nice setup, but, you know, unfortunately, Global Silence.
Very good spell.
I do like that. That's just a universal truth in Dota. Ah, nice play. However, Global Silence. Ah, okay.
Sand King getting picked up in the bot lane. He's 100 gold away from his Agnums.
Yeah, he can buy it. Oh, he had a chance.
When I say picked off, he did initiate the fight with Epicenter and then died.
It's a very 15k way to die.
Oh, We went and looked at the sky for a second.
Yeah, that was Desire's POV.
Ah.
Middle tower finally going to get taken down here, most likely. Spine Knight leading the charge. And the last few events has sort of brought everybody down to Mobe's level. Not to be too cruel, but Mobe was not having a game before this point, but so many of the big cores have just died chained together on the side of Flipster Talon that he's now kind of just level with everybody else. He's been able to be around, just picked up the Blink, picked up the AVULUS, and he's very much back in the game. I was worried that Mobe was never really going to come online and we were just going to have one of these awkward tinies sitting around trying to combo down supports and failing to do so, but no, he's doing fine. Jokam,
One thing
looking at Fly, looking at Jokam. He's that shackle looks hilarious from the stunned animation. I'm not sure we want to be in model view whenever you use the shackle. Might be a bit not safe for stream. Doesn't quite look right. I'll say that.
So posturing behind the Morphling. It's like he wants to progress the map, and a key thing to note with the tiny build is modern day mid tinies, they go for Blink and 4-star, Octarine, maybe they swap the Force for a AVULUS, but it's always like hyper control.
In the bottom lane. Fly's gonna find him, the jump in, the catch. Yeah, when you got a shaman on you, it kind of just feels like there's no hope, but the shackle is interesting, but that's all fine. Poke Spy comes out.
They didn't use global though, because they know their team timing's happening. So if they waste global to keep Zanking alive, it would further delay their ability to make a move, right? We've got the Radiance on the Kungo, we have the Skadi on the Medusa, the Aghanim's on the Zanking. Like, if there ever was a time for Flipster Talon to take the fight, it's going to be now. They found Fly, but 3-man Avalanche.
Yeah, really slowing down the initiation here from the side of Flipster Talon. 23 Savage needs to get off that damage. It's only really going on to Fly right now, and he's still keeping himself alive with those shackles. Will eventually drop. But a return kill is coming in the other way as Makoto is running out of life. Global Storm's going to come down, and it will be enough to stop them from chasing down this pirate. Makoto is going to get away. There's 23 and Cuckoo still just sitting in this little choke point, hammering away at these snakes as Killshot comes in, catched out Jokam. He can't survive through that one. Was just 2 seconds away from getting off that Shadow Dance, but unfortunately didn't get the chance to do so. Will be another death for Flipster Talon. A very awkward fight, but Smiling Knight might not be done. Jumping in is seen, going under the tier 2. Smiling Knight, that is aggressive. I mean, man has an Aegis with only a minute left on it, so I guess he wants to do something with it, turning into the Medusa, turning around, doing quite a lot of damage back the other way, and even stealing the voice lines as well whilst he's at it. Jibe coming in, trying to help out. They're just trying to bring down everybody. Just get that damage off onto the entire team on the side of Flipster. Smiling Knight might finally have to go back to Morphin form now. Oh, Epicenter coming on through. That's going to at least kill Aegis and Jibe at the same time and zone out anybody who's thinking of coming in to help Smiling Knight on his second life. Mobe is still in the neighborhood. He's going to have to pull off something special if he wants to save Smiling Knight here. Here he goes, jumping in the backlines. Knight's out of toss onto 3. Double kill shot from Desire. Juicy from Desire. As now going to go over towards Makoto. This fight is blown wide open. Yells out onto Morphling, trying to buy Makoto some time, but he is out of options. He is out of life. He will be brought down by Smiling Knight. He will take down Desire with him, but Smiling Knight gets another, and now they'll keep searching, they'll keep looking. 23 Savage, he's really out of mana here, and the right clicks come through from Smiling Knight, taking down everybody in this engagement. Jokam back from the dead and back to the grave. It is everybody dead multiple times on Flipster Talon. This game just got broken apart by AVULUS.
It all started with Smiling Knight just going straight underneath the tier 2 with the Aegis, right? He kind of like baited Flipster Talon like, hey, you think you can kill me? Yeah, you know what? Yes, you can, but you just can't kill my second life. And the amount of control from AVULUS there is just exceptional. I think Fly on the Shadow Shaman just getting multiple jumps, and Mobai getting the the 2-man Avatos to then set up for a 2-man instant kill from both the power shot. Like, all the small things done by the players of AVULUS enabled them to crush the fight there. And I think fundamentally there just is no damage on this Medusa. Like, we're luckily going to start the highlight all the way back when Medusa was stuck at this low ground. The Fiend's Gate, the Gale Force, the Serpent Wards, like everything possible to stop the Medusa from walking up this high ground was in play. Like, I don't think 23 Savage even moved a single unit for like 15, 20 seconds. He just A-clicked awkwardly the entire time, right? And that's like just one fight. And then the next fight as well, it's the same thing, right? Does Medusa do enough damage yet? It just isn't really the case. And if Morphling can get Butterfly before Medusa even gets to you know, her second item, Smiling Knight, he could just truly take over this game. 23 Savage. He needs to farm. He needs to farm quick.
There'll be another kill into Yokam. Yeah, Medusa, she's going to need a way to move around these fights. Maybe even like BKB or something, I don't know, but 23 for the last engagement was just entirely stuck. That does seem to be a problem. See what solutions 23 Savage can come up with, or whether he just ignores it and hopes he can get better positioning in the next one. I don't know. Or it could be the case that he just feels the game's going too bad at the moment, that he just wants damage, and keep on holding that high ground for as long as possible. In the super late game like this, Medusa will become the Giga carry.
We are talking, you know, 3-4 more items for sure.
Yeah, that's a long way off. And level 25.
And a rapier, and many more. I don't know. I was about to list like so many items. No, not the time.
Actually, it's the Aghanims you need now, not the 25.
Oh, you okay? You're just talking about split. Sure.
Yeah.
That was one of the nicer changes actually. I like the fact that Medusa can like purchase the ability to have modifiers on her split shot.
Ooh, they just get seen here. Mobe is going to be able to escape. Desire likely will not be getting out of this one. A bit too much damage coming through onto the wind. And she will fall. Still, it's a big gank. It's a big move from Flipster. And they don't really find anything down here. I guess they can get Tormentor actually. It's decent. It'll be on a core hero I think now as well. Oh no, Cuckoo still doesn't have his.
If you're Flipster Talon, you keep playing for the small wins, right? Like, you know, they yet to get a shard, but that aside, it always feels like they're one item away from feeling strong, but then another item appears on AVULUS and we're looking for another item, right? But I think AVULUS have done an exceptionally good job at just delaying that big moment. Like, they had the blink on Sanking, they had the Scar, they had everything available to them, but they just kept finding these little poking kills to prevent it ever really coming into a, you know, a favorable position for Dire. Now Smiling Knight with the butterfly. He is going to feel so unkillable in the fight. We'll see if maybe he overplays his hand. That could be a possibility. But does he just die to a Sanking Kunkun? No, probably not, right? Like he just mantles away from the global. He waits to join the fight until his Tiny or Underlord sets him up correctly, even the Shaman. I really feel like if Smiling Knight's to die, it's going to be his misplay, his overextension. And that's exactly what Flipster Talon are going to have to try and bait out from AVULUS. Try and offer up a fight that looks better for them.
Was very quick there from Jokam, going for a pretty deep D-ward when his team is nowhere nearby, but manages to get off the ulti before they stop him in his tracks. That kind of
way.
Yeah, that kind of kick play is just like ridiculously high value. There's not many other heroes in the game that can pull off something like that.
23 Savage just completed the Daedalus. He's been asking for some damage, and you know, it's a nice bit of damage. Sure, MKB is going to be also required for the Morphling, but
yeah, just thinking that.
Not yet.
Well, Jokam didn't have the ulti available. Actually, he did have the ultimate available at the time. They just caught him out.
He was tossed in the air.
Can't do much. That. But smoke out from Flipster Talon as they're looking to see if there's any opportunities at mid. 23 Savage gets revealed and starts clicking away at Mr. Mobe. Mobe's got to be careful here. He's not going to survive an awfully long time. And there comes the Global Silence. No BKB out from Mobe here either. So he's got the Yules out onto himself. Going to have to throw that down here. But with the boat coming in, the damage coming out from the Medusa as well with the Skadi, Mobe is going to fall. Takes a while, but it happens. And now it's a Medusa fight in the middle lane as these two just clicking away at each other. No one else can come close, but they're both out of mana. But that's a worse sign for 23 Savage than it is for Smiling Knight. As Smiling Knight just flips back to Morphling and finishes the job. That is a painful matchup for 23 to be playing into.
Yeah, with the item disparity, the Morphling just does not really care at all about the Medusa. You know, you're talking about the late game Medusa being the best carry of the game, right, to some degree, but you still need the Ags, the MKB, the Hurricane Pike, the Satan, you know, all these random stuff. Ignore the Satanic, terrible item, but you get the point. It's I'm just doing my default carry builds.
up to some tomfoolery, but tomfoolery is all it is. He does get caught out, doesn't even get off the Death Shroud.
But
Nice to give it a try, but yeah, nothing to grab there.
It's just the fact that every Roshan goes the way of AVULUS, right? Like if one Roshan went the way of Talon Flipster, or Flipster Talon, sorry, it gives you that extra 5-minute window of, you know what, they're not going to be too crazy on the map, right? Now Medusa gets her items. So the fact that they've conceded both Roshans is really going to hurt them, and maybe the argument is going to be, the second Roshan, sure, you lost the fight, but the first Roshan, when Morphling wasn't super hard to kill, when the game was like impossible, that could have been the one that you contested, if you want to apply some hindsight to this. BKB on the Sand King. Yeah, it is great.
Especially in my pubs. So the number one thing I like to do is point out what we should have done previously, what mistakes we made, rather than focus on what's going on now and what to do next. It's way more important to look at the past.
Yeah, of course, 100%. I love Dota players that only talk about the 4-minute laning death the entire game, rather than the 32-minute clutch Roshan fight we could have won. You know, it's oof.
Absolutely right. You know what's up. Desire, just going to poke forward, get rid of this Watcher. See who's hanging around. There's Jokam, and Blinks at Dawn. Mobe and WS both using theirs in synchronization. WS does have some of the best reactions out of many of the pros. He is extremely, extremely quick.
Oh, I thought you meant like, you know, face reactions, like on camera.
Oh,
like,
no, absolutely not. He is a rock.
No, okay, sure.
But here we go. Might be in trouble now. Didn't react quickly enough to that one. He's got the BKB still available, though, and he's just chilling out for now. Then in comes a Morphling. Blink away, though. Doesn't get caught out by that waveform. Great reactions. As it's getting a little awkward in the front lines here. Koku's got to be careful. The global's been used to not much effect. As now, surfing into the base. Jibe doesn't really want to be here. Still has both of his auras, but is trying to save it for the actual fight, rather than use it early here just for the push. That's absolutely the right players, Smiling Knight and the Snakes. Sounds like a very weird band going for the barracks. As Smiling Knight's actually stolen the Sandstorm here. It's going invisible and being very, very annoying in the front lines, but realizing it's got to get back to business, but get back to work and take those barracks. That's exactly what he will do. 23. He may have learned his lesson about standing and fighting versus the Morphling now, but a beautiful shackle shot from Desire from the low ground. Mobe coming in to help out as well. She needs some help, but she's not going to find it. 23 Savage going down here in game 2, and maybe costing them a lot more than a range of barracks as they'll look over to the side. WF desperately trying to get off some abilities here. I mean, the Epicenter doing so much work, but he's got to be careful because in comes Smiling Knight. Where he comes, you must leave. Shokam's trying to play around the backlines here, but he's just going to get chased away and power shot it down. Desire catches him again. He's had Shokam's number throughout the entire game as Makoto's the next one to fall. Smiling Knight brings him down, and there just aren't the buybacks available on the side of Flipster Talon. This might be it, and it certainly is. GG gets called in game number 2. This one will be a 1-1 as